Hello, Sir Berlin.
Hello. Good evening. Good evening,
What
everybody. We're
happened?
here. We have an exciting episode. Medyo yung orientation, but we have an exciting episode. We have two people that outside of the Larong Atin team that I are my favorite people to work with. None other than Mr. Berlin Manalaysay and Doc Tony of Tito Dojo. So welcome to the Larong Atin podcast. So we're
Good
excited to
evening.
have.
Good evening, Sir Freddy. Good evening, Dwayne. Hey, Doc.
Evening po.
And good evening then, RB Espada and Jerome and si Jack. Good
Hmm.
evening.
Jack.
Si Jack, yung teacher, librarian natin na kaibigan na nag-run ng mga Combatron drawing contest, di ba?
Ayun pala yung comment niya. Ayan. So,
Ano pa?
before we continue, explain ko lang yung mechanics. So, today, si Sir Berlin, magpaparaffle ng watches. To basically get a chance, mag-comment lang kayo sa comment section of any of the streams kung nasan siya. And then, by the end of the night, we'll collect them and then raffle na lang. Okay? So, let's keep it simple.
So,
Pero ano, one limit per person. So kahit ilang beses kayo mag-comment, it only counts as one. Okay?
So, if you're not yet aware, there's this watch, Time Purse ang tawag sa kanya, Time Purse. Timepers. Nakita ko to nung first time na pinakita kay Berlin nung dun sa Comic-Con. Tama, no? Dun sa Comic-Con siya unang pinakita. Tapos custom watches siya with the theme ng Combatron and Death Metal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's an exclusive first right here at the Larong Atin podcast. Okay? So, dito nyo pa lang siya, I guess, makikita. Papakita ko ng may sneak peek na of what the watch could look like. Okay? And it's also up for grabs for today's viewers. Okay?
No, may nagmamine na. Teka, relax lang muna. Ay hindi, si Canoli siya atay gumawa nito.
Good evening to all of you and shot.
Wala
Bawal
akong
ba yun? Bawal ba yun? Bawal ba yun?
Hindi, ano to? Spanish latte lang to. Hanggang kape lang.
Yung mug ko dito, ang laman sticker at saka ballpen.
Oh, may ref.
Ref yun. Akin. Yakult.
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 Malaki.
Very healthy.
Healthy.
Siyempre si Doc, dapat healthy.
Doc, okay yung setup mo dyan na may ref sa likod.
May microwave pa.
Na.
Ayan, sige. So, I guess the best way to start is from the very beginning. Kasi ang plan natin for tonight is to talk a little bit about yung history ng Combatron. Basically kung parang bakit biglang in the news ganun. Biglang naging relevant ulit siya during this time, actually around pandemic ganun. And then what's gonna happen after? Kasi tuloy-tuloy to. Hindi na to mawawala. So, ba? Who can
So
give the best?
pag-usapan muna natin yung Funny Comics days. When it all started, anong year, tapos yun what happened towards the end. Medyo let's go through that para sa mga viewers natin na hindi pa masyadong maalam sa history ng Combatron. Yes, we can ask
All right.
Sir
Sige,
Berlin
let's
for
start.
that.
Yeah. Well, it started when I was in fourth year high school, then magka-college na ako. It so happens that I am neighbors with the great Pat V. Reyes, no, the writer of Nick Nook, the writer of Mr. and Mrs., no? And ang pinaka-paboritong tandem ni Vic Geronimo when it comes to comics. And then, syempre, yung anak niya, best friend ko, no? Si Michael Oñate, which is the creator of Little Ninja. So, and Tomas and Colas, no? So, go stay, Kanoli. That's my classmate, no? Yeah, my classmate yan, si Noli, he knows, no, that nung college pa lang ako, doon niya ako nakikita. While doing the plates, I'm also doing Combatron, no? Combatron started when I was in first year college because nagkaroon ng 3-pager na bakante sa Funny Comics. Ang alam ko si Superdog yun, no? Si Vida yata ang nabakante because he had to go to, alam ko, Disney yan. Alam mo naman, ang Filipino artists, di ba? Yan ang mga sought after ng mga Disney, ng mga Toei. Kaya kinukuha sila. Nung kinuha yung mga kinuha si Vida, nagkaroon ng opportunity for me. Na yun na nga ang sabi ng aking editor na si Rose Core, no? Sabi niya, Berlin, kailangan natin ng bagong hero na parang si Astro Boy. So at that time, wow, sobrang excited ako because I love Astro Boy. At that time, I was also playing Rockman or Mega Man. And then, sabi ko, sige, I want to do that kind of hero, but all of the influences that I have, which is Combatron, Iron Man, Batman, Rockman or Mega Man, and Astro Boy, all rolled into one, no? So that's all of it. All of those influences in one character. Tapos ang tawag, ka-brainstorm ko, which is my brother, my late brother, Eduardo Manalaysay, no? God rest his soul. Kami, lahat ng mga influences namin, talaga, lagyan natin ng wrestling, lagyan natin ng rock and roll. So, everything is there, no? All my influences. And ang dapat niyang pangalan, U-Bolt, kasi nga may yung letter U sa taas, no? But then, sabi niya, we thought of other names. Dapat mas astig naman, no? But hindi katulad ng alam ng ibang mga tao na galing sa Combantrin, no? Hindi po. Okay. I'd like to rest that rumor, no? It's not. It's from Combat, which is yun nga, which he's made for, and then Tron, which is my favorite movie during nung time nung bata ako. So pinagsama lang namin Combat, Tron. And then yun, I was given an opportunity sa Funny Comics 1992. While I was in college, I was doing it. And then yun, it span up to 1997, no? At first, when I was doing it, akala ko hindi siya magre-resonate sa mga kids kasi merong portion sa Funny Comics says, this is your page, no? Wala pa rin nagdo-drawing kay Combatron sa Funny Comics. So sabi ko, okay, I guess hindi ako sisikat katulad ni Nick Nock or nila yung mga ginagawa nila Vic Geronimo or nila Larry Alcala during that time. Those big players were there in Funny Comics, no? But then I said, sige, basta I'll just enjoy this because I really love drawing, and this is my character, these are all my influences, let's go. Until yun, until there's one episode na namatay yung kanyang aso, si Askal, no? Ang asong mechanical, which really that's where it all it just took off, no? Nakakuha ko ng hindi email, snail mail, no? Na ganito kataas, no? If for those kids kung hindi alam yung snail mail, ito yung nasa envelope po na merong stamp, binibigay sa post office, at you'll have to wait like 3 to 4 days or even a week kung saan ka galing, no? To be able to get that mail. And then doon ko nakuha yung mail that they're saying, bakit mo pinatay si Askal? Umiiyak ako ngayon while I'm reading it, yung mga ganun. And then naalala ko nga yung editor ko noon, no? When that very controversial chap, yung episode na yun, sinabi niya sa akin, Berlin, funny comics tayo. We're supposed to be funny. This is not funny. Someone died, di ba? A character died. So, gusto ko lang talagang i-push, no? Dahil nung time na yon talagang namatay din yung dog ko, no? So, I had to really share this experience with my with my with the readers. So, sinabi ko na lang sa editor, ma'am, we also have that responsibility to educate the children on how to deal with loss. So, I guess, Ma'am Core, Rose, salamat at pinakinggan niyo ako because yun, because of that, no, naging kakaiba yung direction ng Combatron. No? It dealt with topics that are more than just being funny. It dealt with sacrifice, love of country, love of earth. So yan, that's Combatron. Shot!
Galing. So, yung one of the reasons kung ba't kami humingi ng history, essentially, is kasi to be fair, ang daming bagong fans na hindi directly na-experience yung funny comics. Like, gugulat kami, parang babata, no? Di ba yung patitingin kayo, tapos bibili ng comics, wait lang, wala na funny comics sa pinanganak ka. But yeah, ang dami na lang ngayon recently. And then apparently, maraming ways na nag-permeate yung Combatron through culture. Like, hindi na siya like directly from comics alone. So, parang we also want to explore, like, ano ba nangyari? Bakit bigla
Oh, yes.
divergence,
It's also because of social media, no? To tell you the truth, sabi nga ni Sir Freddy kanina, ano ba nangyari sa Combatron? Kasi noong 1997, it suddenly ended. And the fans na, hindi na readers, no? The fans noticed that hindi to style ni Berlin na, hindi to yung style ng drawing ni Berlin, and then alam ko hindi niya i-end yung story, hindi ganyan, no? So and then nagkaroon ng threads nung time na Multiply pa dati, no? At saka ano yung isa? Friendster. Merong mga threads na sinasabi, where is Berlin Manalaysay? So nung nag-work na ako noon, nag-advertising ako, and I had to really stop, no, Combatron, because my work was getting most of the time from comics, naging advertising person ako, gumawa ako ng mga commercials, and having seen my work, yung mga dinodrawing ko, become a commercial na live sinushoot, that drew me to that industry, no? Na tipong, wow, ang galing. Lahat ng mga kagaguhan ko is now nagiging commercial, no? I guess hindi ko alam kung alam niyo yung mga commercials ko with Green Cross, BDO, CDO, yon, no? Hindi ko alam kung na encounter niyo, but then at the back of my mind, I still know that I have Combatron, but I don't know if I was gonna go back until social media, no? Those threads stirred me up, no, and then nakakita pa ako sa sa Facebook, which was an ultimate homage and honor to me. May cosplayers, no, may cosplayers in conventions, na doon ko unang nakita na ang astig ng cosplayer na si Win Encarnado, kinosplay niya si Combatron with such detail that I was like, wow, I think I really have to go back, no? And then ginawa pa akong guests ng ng Comic-Con, and there was like clamor to for me to end Combatron the way Berlin Manalaysay should have ended it, no? So, nagkaroon pa nga ako ng mga interviews noon with GMA, with ABS-CBN, si Tonying, at saka si Jessica Soho, no? So, all that led to me finishing Combatron, no? Tipong talagang may part 1 and part 2, the galactic end, no? Which is the proper ending of Combatron, which I launched in Glorieta, no? With the help of Sir Freddy, no? Thank you for giving me that venue, no? Tipong binigyan niya ako ng stage in Glorieta, and that's where I came back, no? It was my relaunch. And that's where I met the fans, no? Tipong um, pumila sila ang haba kasama yung mga pamilya nila.
Mhm.
And uh that was ano no that was I was so grateful, and it's such a humbling experience to see all those people lining up for you, and then having them wait for you to sign their copies, their comics, and just chatting with you, and then some of them even saying na naging doktor ako dahil kay Combatron. And I think one of those guys are here right now, si Doc Tony. So yun, that's what happened, and then now I guess merong mga some kids that are ano no interested in Combatron is because of Halo Halo app,
Mhm.
which is um the app that's with Will Sportasio and Apple the app, di ba? Halo Halo app by Apple the app, no? I signed up with them recently, and then they're remastering the Combatron chapters of Funny Comics. And right now it's online, and yun, that's it. And now, yun, bakit nagpapatuloy? It's because I have these collaborations with really great people, no? One of them is right now Sir Freddy, who's here, and then also this guy over here. Hindi ko alam kung tama, no? Si Doc Tony. This one is Sir Freddy. Andito ba? Magkabila? O wala,
Parang
hindi.
iba ata
This
yung
one.
orientation ng
Iba yung
screen.
orientation ko, but yes,
Depende
two na
sa ano
lang.
eh. Yeah.
Okay. And they're here. You guys are here right now. You're part of why Combatron is still here. So I'm grateful. Thank you, Sir Freddy and Doc Tony.
And like I always say, thank you for letting us play around in the universe ni Combatron. And we really have fun. Like I said in sa start, right now our guests outside of the Larong Atin team, these are my two favorite people to work with. Napakadaling kausap and katrabaho. Let's go back to some of the comments, not necessarily questions. Meron dito yung sabi ni
Ito,
Canoli, trentahin trend. Medyo nagkakapalingan ng edad ng mga fans.
ito. I wanna share this one. Galing kay RC Limjuko. Basahin nyo
Animation
na lang.
industry ako dahil sa kay Combatron.
Wow.
Naabutan daw niya 350 lang ang Funny Comics. Naabutan ko, mas mura pa dyan. Ano ba? May mga nakakatuwang mga comments na tayo nakikita eh. May question, meron bang modern Funny Comics? Meron pa rin mga parang yung anthology type comics na lumalabas. If you join comics convention dito sa Pilipinas, meron pa rin mga ganyan, pero hindi na siya monthly. Wala nang ganon. But there are creators na gumagawa pa rin ng comics actively. And even Berlin is continuously making comics. Tinapos niya na nga yung ending with the part 1 and part 2 nung anong year ba yun? 2019?
Yeah, I think 2018 and then
2018?
2020 uli, no? Or 2018 yata yun.
Parang ganoon eh. And then may lalabas pa ulit. Pero ano to, I think prequel. If
Well, hindi
watching
siya
from Toys R Us.
prequel. Hey, Dan. Okay. So, hindi siya prequel, no, Freddy? Ano siya? Para siyang actually para siyang sequel, but then we all know that the universe of Combatron, no, was sacrificed for the fans, for the readers. Para lang hindi tayo masaktan, no? But then there's another universe which is death metal, no? So if you guys want to know what happened to death metal, yun, no? And I will be launching it sa upcoming event natin, Sir Freddy, which is
Asian Board Games
ABGF.
Festival.
Yes,
So maraming
ABGF.
exciting launch dyan with Combatron. With the Combatron universe. There's that Death Metal Comics. There's going to be the Comics Combat Arena featuring Combatron. We'll have 6 characters, miniatures. If you want, yun, meron sample si yan. So if you want to see that, we'll have prototypes for demo and probably accepting pre-orders during the event, May 2 to 3. Tapos meron pang si Ascal, oh. Yan. So Asian Board Games Festival, Bayanihan Center, May 2 to 3. So that Death Metal Comics, Comics Combat Arena, and plus another reveal. Pwede namang i-reveal o hindi pa? Secret pa rin?
Sa amin ba, sir?
Hmm?
Yung sa
On your end.
on our end, no, we'll be coming out with our new museum post ng statue because nauubos no? From Tido Dojo, no, we partnered with Sir Berlin since 20. For me, I started partnering with Sir Berlin since 2024, and now we're really improving, no? And since na sold out na yung statues natin, there was a clamor for another type of statue. That's what we'll be putting out. It's gonna be an exclusive for ABGF. And definitely, we have very, very big news, but it will come out paunti-unti. But I'm sure people who are very, very good collectors of the art toy scene, no? Hint, hint, art toy scene, and also yung Combatron, you'd be blown out of your socks. No? So please bantayan nyo yung page ng Larong Atin, page ni Sir Berlin, and page ng Tido Dojo. We will be dropping major stuff this ABGF.
Quick!
Very exciting. Really excited about that. Yun, dami nang bumabate. Yun. Are there any plans to make a movie animated series? Or
Yun, I would like to address that comment, no? Yes, please pray. Yun na lang ang sasabihin ko ngayon because I've announced every time, no, that there's going to be a movie, there's going to be a series, and then something happens, no? Jinijinx ko ba? So then, ang sasabihin ko na lang, please pray for the smooth production of the movie and the series. No? Yun na lang, no? Let's pray, no? I will have to update you guys or announce pag may nakikita na akong gumagalaw. Okay? Yes. Okay.
yun. So let's let's talk about yung history ng Tido Dojo and then how it became na nagkaroon kayo ng collaboration with Berlin and Combatron.
So thank you, no. It was actually marami actually nagtatanong niyan because I didn't start actually just with Tido Dojo to start with Sir Berlin. No, I had a group before with Lootbox Plus, no. And one night, no, when I was designing, I wanted to make my own toy because as Sir Berlin knows, no, I have my own passion project, no, which I'll be talking about a bit, no, later. But for Combatron, sinabi ko, if I'm going to make something, I want something that is very relevant to me. Because I grew up in a time na I don't have Marvel, I don't have DC. No, I studied in a private school, but in the private school, I had my own little world. No, ayaw ko ng bookstore. Gusto ko nung Kanto store, yung sari-sari store na bibili ako ng merinda and then I will rent comics na nakasabit lang, no? And from there, parang sabi ko, oh my, at this point, I'm a doctor already. I want to relive the great times, no? The fun times. So out of nowhere, I said, okay, I told my wife, I want to make Combatron a toy. Kasi I am a collector of Mega Man and Astro Boy. So it's all really there. So I called message Sir Berlin, no, sa Facebook. Messenger pa nga eh. Sabi ko, hindi naman nagre-reply ito, pero sige, no, if I'm going to start a toy, I'd start with Combatron. Well, he replied after 5 minutes. Nagulat talaga ako. Sabi ko, nagre-reply siya. And then, we really hit it out very, very fast. Because I told him, sir, I am not really doing this as a commercial thing. It's more of because I'm a pedia-ophtha. I'm a pediatric ophthalmologist. My mom is a pediatrician. My wife is a developmental pediatrician. So, we love kids. We love kids. Sabi ko, I am going to make something out of Combatron because the character of Combatron, si Empoy, he's an orphan. And I have an orphanage that I'm supporting together with my family. So, sinabi ko kay Sir, I will make a small, exhibit type, and then majority actually of what's going to be generated from it, I will give it to the orphanage. Tapos biglang sabi ni Sir, let's do it. And then everything is history already. Na-shock talaga ako, sobrang bilis. So we got 30 artists, we launched ourselves in the ToyCon. Ang dami talagang mga biglang nag-relive ng memory. Sabi, uy, si Combatron yan. Tapos may mga bata dadaan, uy, si Mega Man. Tapos yung tatay, hindi, si Combatron yan. And then later, lo and behold, may nagdadala ng mga keychain ng lumang Funny Comics. Tapos pinapa-sign. And then syempre, the artists who knew it, lumalapit, uy, si Berlin, nandyan ba siya bukas? And then sabi, opo, nandito po siya ulit. Diba? So, sobrang amazing. And then, this is one of those works of art, no? We looked for artists, no, up and coming, hindi pa kilala, at mga veterano. And then we did this. No, akin nga, ito, nakasulat Berlin. My favorite character, once upon a time, was really death metal. Pero, deep inside, hindi lang kasi pinapakita si Axel eh, kaya there's no material. But now, since friend ko si Sir Berlin, he gives me material. So, balik Axel tayo. So, going back, after that, sabi ko, okay, we formed a new team because natutunan ko from the art world, sabi ko, parang ang ganda kung nakaukit lahat, parang handmade lahat. So, we went for deeper ones. So, I found my partners, no, si Anthony Bersola, who started making Combatron pala 2018 pa. It's so funny, he pitched it to Sir Berlin then. Pero nabuhay namin nung 2024. Tapos our painter, si Richard, who's also my partner, and siya yung talagang paint guy ng Tinta Hobby Paints, no? We made these things. Pinag-usapan lang namin. Then sabi ko, okay, let's go back to Combatron. Kasi nandun talaga yung essence for me. Parang if I can't build this again, what more, ano yung possibility na magagawa ko yung passion project ko? So I anchored it dun kay Combatron. Tapos syempre, habang nag-usap-usap kami ni Sir Berlin, he's giving me tips kasi I love comics, no? Comics for me is a perfect art for the brain. Kasi it gives you pictures, it gives you dialogue, but it doesn't tell you what the path is. You have to think about it. Is there more to this drawing? Is there more to this backstory? Meron pa bang caption? That's why the children of our generation, I was born in 1987, no? So, iba, I think, no? Because we work with what we are given. So sabi ko, okay, I think this is great, no? This is great. I want to bring it back because I see the kids, no? I see the kids in my clinic. Everything is parang automatic with them. But with comics, yung pag ganyan, pag-ikot, pagbasa, pag-interpret nila sa akin, they're all different. Then I asked Sir Berlin nga age-old question, what happened to Empoy? He said, he died when he became competent. Sabi ko, oh my God. Diba? I read that in 1994, 1995, and it's only now that I understood that. Tapos biglang, amazing lang because I read funny comics, every part of it. But Fridays are the funnest because si Sir Berlin as Combatron there. But if you look at it, everything is just really funny. But Combatron wasn't. It was morals, it was the government to a certain degree, it was aliens, it was good and bad. No, it was not always we start good, we end good. Hindi, they're always cliffhangers. That's why it keeps you coming back. No? Kaya sobrang medyo masaya talaga siya. And then afterwards, we just kept on going with with the toy.
Oh, that's a good story to And siguro I'll share a little bit of my ano naman.
Yun nga yung
Ah,
sasabihin ko, Sir Freddy. Tayo rin may storya.
yeah, so actually ang nagpakilala sa akin kay Berlin was Kit Perez. Siya yung mutual friend namin. And tama yung sinabi ni Berlin kanina na yung yung time na yun, I guess napansin ko yung na merong demand, I guess, na may fans, and then wala silang ways to interact with Combatron. So merong void. So nung medyo napansin ko yun, parang sabi ko, okay. Sige, subukan natin hanapin yung creator ng Combatron, and then I went through social media, and then I found a common friend. I asked to be introduced, and yeah, mabilis kausap talaga. So easy. I think within the week, nag-meeting na kami, and then we had ang bilis rin ng production. I asked sa mga designers namin kung sino yung familiar sa Combatron. May nagtaas agad ng kamay, si Tomas Regala.
Thomas!
So, mabilis namin nagawa yung game. And then, actually, it's probably one of our faster from concept to end product na games eh. So, and doon nag-umpisa, I guess, na and I guess one of the weird things about me is I'm not afraid to risk something if I believe in something. So hindi ko kailangan may makitang mauna sa akin. I guess yun lang yung kawirduhan ko. Sinasabi ko, I'm not scared to, be part of things from the ground up. Somebody has to. Diba? Ganun lang naman eh. So medyo ganun yung and I really love working with Berlin. So easy to work with, so easy to talk to. I guess everybody who's worked with him can also attest to that. Like Doc Tony. I also love working with Doc Tony kasi ang bilis ng kausap. Mabilis so mabilis yung exchange of ideas. 'Di ba? So walang kaarte-arte. Ang it's just such a joy to work with these people. Kaya nga excited ako to introduce them kanina. Yun. So yun naman yung origin ay siguro nung Combatron the card game. Tapos ngayon nga gagawa kami ulit ng bago, yung Comics Combat Arena in partnership with Tido Dojo and Berlin Manalaysay. So yun yung mangyayari naman sa susunod. So abangan niyo sa May 2 to 3. You can test it out sa Asian Board Games Festival, Bayanihan Center. Kung pumupunta na kayo ng Comic-Con, so alam niyo na yung lugar na yan. Hindi kayo maliligaw. So bahay na yan bahay yan ng comics, ng Filipino comics. A very historical Bayanihan Center. Anything else? Meron ba tayong kailangan balikan ng mga comments na let's shout out? Medyo marami na rin ng by the way, if you just joined us, make sure to leave a comment. Mas kinakalokohan lang ang comment na ilalagay nyo kasi enter kayo sa raffle for a Time Purse watch na team ng Combatron or Death Metal. Yun. So make sure, wag lang kayo mag-lurk dyan, mag-iwan kayo ng comment.
Kayo.
Yes. Magparamdam kayo.
Like and subscribe, please.
Yes,
Eto,
like
may
and
isang
subscribe
comment.
na rin para you get to get the updates. Like yung sinabi kanina ni Doc Tony, yung kailangan yung abangan na announcement na ititis ng dahan-dahan leading up to the release sa Asian Board Games Festival. May major collaboration between two very big artists ng Pilipinas.
Wait, baka mabahing ulit si Sir Berlin.
Ha?
Baka mabahing ulit.
Sorry,
Yan.
sorry.
Okay.
Nabahinga ko, sorry. Excuse.
Ay, ito. May pakita ko sa inyong comment. Doc Tony, before talaga. May mga
Yes.
kanya-kanyang paraan para
May ano talaga may clamor, may need. May need.
Actually, yan yung reason namin because we wanted version 1. Yung comic na accurate na version. So, kasi ang lumabas, yung latter parts na. Tapos, Comics Combat Cebu. Sorry, nakita ko sa comments. So, everyone actually dun sa mga groups ng Combatron, makikita nyo ang daming passionate na tao. No? Not just drawing, may nagsasculpt, may nagti-3D sculpt. You can actually find it everywhere. Dati may deviant art pa ang daming magagaling sobra. So, nakakabuhay talaga nung culture. Remember, everything you do sa Combatron, may it be pupunta sa event, no, chikahan sa booth. It's always magkasama kami sa booth ni Sir Berlin. Pag may Tido Dojo, automatic si Sir Berlin may table doon because gusto talaga namin nakikipag-usap. And then, syempre, papakinggan din namin yung feedback about the figures. A lot of figures actually came from the fans. Parang sinabi, pwede bang chibi naman? So, yun nakikita niyo sa likod ni Sir Berlin, it was actually a request of a fan. Tapos, pwede bang yung maliit lang, parang malalabubo lang, we made it also. So, masaya talaga kasi si Sir Berlin din magsasabi, ano kaya kung gawin natin? Then we'll have a prototype done. And then, pag sinabi ni Sir Berlin, go. Like this miniature game we're doing with Larong Atin and Sir Freddy, napag-usapan lang namin sa isang booth ng Comic-Con, tapos sinabi, tara, gawin na natin. Tapos yun, everything's history.
Ito naman, for the, total, nag-Cebu na, Iloilo naman.
Iloilo.
Tour daw kaya? World tour?
World tour. Yes.
Guys, I'd shout out lang, to Time Purse, okay? So this is what you're going to win, no? It's an exclusive now here in Larong Atin, no? In this live chat, I'm just gonna show you a sneak peek of what it kind of looks like. Oh, death metal watch.
Death metal.
Wow! This was made by Raymond Ong. My new collab, no? Hindi, kakaiba talaga tong taong to, no? As in talagang wow, I don't even know how he did this, but it's incredible. And you have a chance to win it. There's two. There's a Combatron watch and a death metal watch. Okay? Just like and subscribe Larong Atin and then leave a comment, please.
Sama nyo na rin, Tido Dojo. Subscribe rin kayo sa Tido Dojo.
Yes, please.
Join the Combatron by Berlin Manalaysay Facebook group. Ayun. Dami ng assignment.
Si Jack, sabi niya pa-shoutout naman. So si Jack, we're all nakakagulat si Jack, kung may event na sinasabi si Sir Berlin, nasya-shock na lang kami na nandun na siya. Medyo intense. So sa Combat Tropas, shoutout guys.
Yeah. Na-mention din ni
Yes,
Jack yung culture dati ng 25 centavos renta ng comics. That's very true. A lot of the kids nowadays probably have no idea na ganun yung culture ng comics dati. Pupunta ka sa kanto, wala kang pambili ng wala ka nung 250 or wala ka nung 350. Pambili ng comics, punta ka sa kanto, may nagpaparenta ron 25 cents. Upo ka nga lang doon. Doon ka tatambay for a while. So, may ganyang culture dati when it comes to Filipino comics. And not just funny comics, pati yung mga dramatic comics, mga action comics, mga ganon. Maraming klaseng comics dati. It was very, very diverse.
Liwayway yun, ano?
Oo, ang daming klase. May wakasan, May mga ganun. Lumalabas yung edad ko.
Maraming natuto magbasa dahil sa comics.
Yes, that's true.
Totoo yun.
That's true. That's very true. Maski ako, doon ako excited magbasa eh. Hindi ako excited magbasa ng textbook eh. So, a lot of people probably you mas na excited magbasa dahil sa comics. Tapos eventually these people will graduate reading more serious books, novels, fantasy novels maybe. Pero maraming nag-umpisa talaga yung love nila for fantasy, for fiction and writers sa comics. And there really is a place in legitimate yung position niya pagdating sa literature. Dati kasi hindi sineseryoso eh. Talagang yung nung panahon dati, pag tinitingnan yung comics, parang very low class or whatever, di ba?
Rudimentary art.
Oo, pero ngayon, it's getting recognized as an integral part of our culture. Lalo na as Filipinos, Filipino comics is very integral to our culture. Even if the culture now is, sabihin natin, it's napapalitan ng digital, even all our digital has a lot of influence from the comics of the past.
Ang galing nun,
wait.
Combatron has been the best 350 I've spent.
Galing nga
Sa
eh.
totoo lang, if you have that pa, yung 350, you'd be surprised. No? I bought one for 1,500. No, one funny comic. That's because
Medyo-
parang nakita
yeah.
na din nila eh. Nakita na din nila na parang, oh my God, this isn't Mega Man, this isn't Astro Boy, this is Combatron, and it's part of our culture. And then, yun nga, a lot of people, nagugulat talaga ako kasi i-message na lang dun sa groups, parang, pwede bang makakita nung episode ng ganyan. And then, when we go to mga convention, nagugulat kami ni Sir Berlin na may ganitong kakapal na isang dangkal, tapos papasign sa kanya. And then, we literally go back to memory lane. May iniyakan ko to, tapos sinabi ni Sir Berlin, that was a misprint kasi dapat sa susunod pa na episode yan. Tapos parang pinag-agawan namin yung kasal ni Combatron tsaka ni Metallica. Sabi ko, name your price, ayaw ibayara, ayaw ibigay sa akin, di ba? So it was so fun, no? It's so fun. And then, yun nga, that 350, it's not 350 anymore, guys.
Oh yeah.
I know
Funny
there's
story
been a lot
about
of talk
something
of
okay, funny story about something like that, no? It was one Toy-Con na meron siya Combatron number 1. No? So sabi niya ganun, wow. So lahat nung nilabas niya, everyone was looking and they're saying, wow, Combatron number 1. How much are you selling that? Sabi niya, 10,000 po. Sabi, wow, 10,000. Okay. And then I signed it, no? Sabi niya. Sabi ko, sige. Sabi ko, okay. Bibilin ko, sabi ko sa kanya. Sabi niya, hindi po for sale, sabi niya. And then everyone was saying, wow, pati yung mismong gumawa, hindi sa kanya pinagbili. So yeah, it's just I'm just at awe of how it is.
Yeah.
No?
I think it's very personal for a lot of people. Their connections to these characters, they may be fictional, but the emotional connections and memories that people develop with parang kaibigan nila yung mga characters na yan they grew up with it, so mahirap presyohan. Ang kanina nga akala ko pagka yung 10,000 biglang mamaya hindi na 10,000 yan, may ano na yan, di ba? Also, if you have questions, feel free to post your questions sa sa comments if you want to ask to answer.
May idadagdag ako. You see that 2.5-inch Combatron na nasa may ulo ni Sir Berlin? Yung pinakita niya kanina. Yan. That's actually my gift to him. Kasi sabi ko, sir, ang dami nating pinagsamahan. That's my character Tapos, kasama siya nung Combatron na isa na binigay ko din. A small version of this one. Kasi wala si Sir natago eh. During our event, wala talaga siyang natago. So I made one like that and I painted it. Tapos biglang dun sa table namin na nilagay ni Sir yan, sinabi, pwede ba kaming bumili niyan? Sabi ko, hindi kasi kay Sir Berlin lang to. Tapos biglang sinabi ni Sir, sige make, it's okay. So ginawa namin. So it's so funny. Pag convention, hindi na labubo yung nakasabit sa bag. Nakikita ko yan. Tapos it makes a smile puts a smile on my face. Kasi parang, it's only one of those collectors na nagsabi na, pwede bang gumawa ng ganyan? Tapos narinig ni Sir Berlin. Tapos, sige, gawa na tayo, okay lang. So parang, that's how that's how excited everyone is. And that's how open, the creator is, si Sir Berlin, na midnight nga, mini-message ko siya. Sabi nga na asawa ko, sino naman ka-message mo? Sabi ko, si Sir Berlin. Sabi niya, sige, okay lang. Diba? So, it's so fun. It's so fun. And thinking of it, and the resurgence of Pinoy pride, it's really, really perfect. No? It's really, really perfect. I'm waiting for the day na, kung ano sa Greenwich, may mukha ni Combatron, may hawak. Alam mo yun, like in Bangkok, in Indonesia, in other countries. That's why, ako, hindi talaga ako titigil hanggang mangyari yun. Kasi, I'm very invested in Combatron because I grew up with it. No? And it brings great memories. No, ilang beses akong na-confiscate ng funny comics sa classroom at pinadala sa principal's office kasi contraband yan. Kasi walang comics dapat libro sa school, but I bring it during recess and lunch. Tapos nauubos yung intermediate pad ko kasi nagdo-drawing ako ng Combatron. Di ba? Ang galing.
Okay, we have a relevant question here. Available po ba sa Lazada yung watch? I think yun, galing kay Patrick.
Ano lang siya, limited run. So, please follow Larong Atin, Tido Dojo, and the Combatron pages for updates on where it's going to be available.
So, for now, ngayon dito nyo palang makukuha yan by joining the raffle. If just leave a comment and then you will be part of the raffle. You will be one of 2 people who
And
will
like and subscribe, please.
Yes,
Like and subscribe. Larong Atin.
Tapos ano ba? Let's look at some more yung manifesting. Yung tag team toy of Combatron and Ascal.
Lalabas yan sa ABGF, pero the funny thing is 5 lang nilabas namin. And during that day na nilabas namin, it sold out. But we are planning to make more. We're planning to make more. And ang goal talaga namin is to make the merchandise mas mura para everyone can get it. No? So we're trying our best para lahat magkaroon din. No? We are really trying our best with that. No? Pero kunwari, pag lumabas na yung ating Comics Combat Arena, ang cute di ba? Parang ganyan. Nakikita nyo. It's very small. Ako ginawa ko ng keychain kasi parang ang cute lang. No? So, they're these small and then everyone can get. And then, who knows, no? Na pag napapasarap yung usapan namin ni Sir Freddy, labas tayo ng event exclusive na parang action figure lang or yung mini. Tapos we can use it as alternate sculpts. 'Di ba? We listen to the fans because we ourselves are fans. Pag pumupunta kami sa event ni Sir Berlin, ako mismo may pinapasign sa kanya parate because I'm a fan. It's very funny. Nakikipag-agawan pa ako sa merch because I myself am a fan. And si Sir, equal lahat tayo. Equal talaga. So, aalok sa'yo, aalok sa akin. Pare-parehas lang tayo. No? But it keeps it really fun because we're talking about it. So, kailan blind box na restock? We're hard at work making, no? We have 25 sets na lang na natitira. Pero hindi pa namin natapos kasi naubos siya lahat. No? Thank you everyone for supporting. Ang laking tulong po. No? Our artists are really artists. Talagang hina-hand paint nila yan very diligently para pag nakikita ng mga aficionado talaga, they know that they're having their childhood back, no? So emotion talaga ang gusto namin i-evoke, no? So
Ito may big request.
we're restocking, and we'll put it out also in ABGF kasi it's actually the first event that we're going to do as Tido Dojo. So May and no, baka no, magbibigay ako ng pa-premyo na libre because it's Sir Berlin and mine na birthday month, no? Magka-birthday kami ni Sir, no? So, it's very special. Magbibigay talaga kami, no? So, please, 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 punta tayo ng ABGF, usapan tayo, laro tayo, tell us what you want, and then, awa ng Diyos, we can do it.
Ayun nga pala, kanina may nagtanong din where they can have their comics signed. ABGF, Berlin Malalaysay will be there both days, signing comics, releasing new merch and stuff. He's very accommodating. Kung hindi nyo pa siya na-meet before, sobrang bait niya sa mga fans niya. Talagang paminsan kailangan pagalawin yung pila, hindi gumagalaw yung pila.
May sketch pa.
Oo. So,
Well, I owe it all to them. I am nothing without you guys. I mean, come on. I mean, di ba? Without you guys, what else am I going to do? So yun lang yan. I really just owe it to you guys.
so kanina actually I was going to ask, ito nga, yung may nagtatanong, omnibus daw ng Combatron. Kasi, yun nga, ngayon may mga bagong fans. Shout out din sa Good Life All Day. They've been able to get younger fans also with their culture sa grupo nila. So maraming bagong fans na probably are looking for the original story. So yung may nagtatanong nga, magkakaroon ba raw ng compendium nung mga unang nilabas sa Funny Comics?
Yes, that's meron naman and right now it's because I'm collaborating with Halo Halo. It is them who will do the compendium or the omnibus, no? If ano naman yan, madali naman yan, no? If I wanted to just make money, I would have done it my own, no? But then I wanted to do it properly. And then I guess talagang there are things that are left to fate. Yun ba yun? Dahil parang ganun talaga yung mangyayari, no?
Pag meant to be, meant to be.
Yes.
It was meant to be, no? It was now it's halo halo, and they're going to release it in next year, I guess.
Sir,
Ah.
gumawa kaya tayo ng compilation ng mga fan art and official art. Tapos tignan lang natin, no? Kahit
Well, that's going to happen. Yes.
40,
And
50
actually,
pages.
yes, that actually for Death Metal Comics, it is also one of the features, no? Meron,
May fan
babalik
art
natin
section.
yung fan art, okay? So, but death metal. Okay.
I remember kasi isang convention, sinabi nung isang fan, Sir Berlin, parati ako nagsisend ng entry ko doon sa yung drawing. Pero never ko nakita yung ginawa ko. So nagtampo. Malay mo, sir, no, this time around, maybe 20, 30 years after, makita mo na, di ba?
I actually messaged him and I said, sige, mag-drawing ka ngayon.
Kasi 'di ba sir, yung ginawa ni Prof Jack, ang galing kids who didn't even know Combatron until the time na nilabas ni Sir Jack yung mini library niya, biglang nag-drawing ng Combatron at ang gagaling, ang gagaling. Shout out to Sir Jack and his efforts. Thank you po.
Wow, yes. That actually, I was honored by that one, no? Na parang inintroduce niya to the young ones, and they actually did a really great job of recreating Combatron or their own version. So thank you, Sir Jack, for that one.
Yeah.
Yun.
So,
May nagtanong, kailan ulit yung event? So, May 2 to 3, Bayanihan Center, Asian Board Games Festival. One of our main na booths or attractions would be the Combatron Berlin Manalaysay booth. Maraming laman kayong makikita ron. You can play the Comics Combat Arena. You can see the new projects ng Tito Dojo. And of course, yung Death Metal comics i-release during that day. So you can have your old stuff, bring your old stuff, yung mga luma yung funny comics, dalhin nyo ron. When you get your new comics, you can have your old comics signed. You can try out the new game. You can check out the new merch, the new toys from Tito Dojo. So lots of things you can see na bago with Combatron.
Sir
Tapos,
Freddy, I'd
baka
just
meron pa
like
kayong
to talk
makita
about
hindi namin
the
ina-announce.
Sir Freddy, I'd just like to talk about the new game, no? Ang kulit. As in talagang when we were discussing it yesterday, ang kulit niya, no? Guys, you have to be there to play with us. I'm going to play with you guys because I myself interested to play it and to see how the characters, do their stuff, no? Tipong nakakatawa nga because it was just yesterday that me, Dwayne, Doc and Freddy were talking about the how the mechanics of the game was, and we were talking about the supports. Not even Combatron and Abodon, no? Pinag-uusapan namin, si Askal, ganito ang attack niya, ganito ang characteristics niya. So you have to experience it with us. And I invite you to be there because hey, magpapa-tournament kami. Yun ang gagawin natin. And would you win prizes? Okay?
Yeah. We've tried to stay true to the character of the various characters in Combatron. So you will feel I guess ito yung gamified interpretation namin ng mga characters, and we hope we stayed true to the vision ni Berlin sa mga characters. And mukhang ganoon naman kasi kahapon nagtatawanan lang kami. So ito yung gagawin nila, ito yung pag ganito pag nangyari, di ba?
wag niyo spoil si Askan.
Hindi ko naisip kung ano. You have to experience it para pag nakita nyo, oo nga, no? Ganon. Yun yung gusto namin ma-experience nyo habang naglalaro kayo.
Sobrang funny, di ba? Parang we are graying-haired men. Tapos we had a board game, we had 6 miniatures, and we were the pinakamaingay na mga tao dun sa Matcha Tokyo. So imagine how excited we were. Kasi graying hair, oh. Tapos biglang ingay-ingay namin, tawanan kami ng tawanan. Kasi it is really, really well thought of. No? Yung figures, they're a plus point. Pero the mechanics, the storytelling, the things that go with the, what do you call this, the game, it's not just the figures eh. It's actually more. And we're excited to show it to you guys.
Yan. So, actually, one of the perks from pag lagi nyo kasama si Sir Berlin is lagi kami nag-matcha. Apparently, favorite niyan Sir Berlin, ha? Favorite. Yan. So, actually,
Yeah,
gusto ko rin
wala sarap eh. Ewan ko. Sorry. Sorry dun sa mga coffee drinkers, but I'm matcha.
oh no. Pero yung lang, medyo weird na segue. Kasi habang nandun kami sa matcha place, napag-usapan namin yung mga, basically parang manifestations ng legacy. Okay ba? Ang deep ng Combatron. And some of them, actually, well, si Doc Tony is actually one of the better examples. Diba, nag-manifest in so many ways. Ngayon, I think, it's his turn. It's his team's turn to basically create something. So, kaka-announce lang nung Friday ba? Yan. So, ano to?
So, na-inspire ako ni Sir Berlin. Actually, the reason why I connected to him in the first place was I wanted to make a passion project about neurodivergence. So, kids who are different players in this world. No? So, ibang story. No? Not mainstream, not really talked of. So, kinausap ko si Sir regarding that, and then he actually became a very big inspiration for me. And sinabay ko yung first event namin with the launch of my toy. No? And then afterwards, we brainstormed. He helped me make the universe. And then later on, now it's a graphic novel already. So we'll be releasing my graphic novel, the new Neo Divergence. No, ito. So this is the toy. No, it's ubos na siya nung 2024. But we're relaunching it since Comiket is going to launch. They're gonna publish the book. No, during the
Yeah,
Philippine
shout
Book
out to Paulo
Festival.
Heras.
Galing. Great guy, great guy. So he's really helping the new artists and the seasoned artists because I really believe yun in comics and graphic novels and really sharing the art itself. So please no follow us. No, we'll be sending also in Larong Atin and also in our Tido Dojo and the page of Neo Divergent no, in Facebook. No, it would help if you like and share po because most of it is actually tackling issues of self-discovery. No, I want a younger audience, like what I was once upon a time when I started reading comics, because these things it sticks. No, I started reading comics 1994. How old am I? No, now I'm 38. But yun pa rin yung nasa utak ko. Ano bang bakit kinailangan ni Combatron pumunta sa Bethlehem? 'Di ba? There was a point na nung Christmas nag-time travel siya na 'di ba? Tapos may point na uy napunta siya sa prehistoric place. It's so funny, no? But I still remember it like it was a week ago. So I think and I hope that yung gagawin kong graphic novel teaches principles also. So thank you Sir Berlin actually because yun nga you helped me make this. You were my inspiration and until now no I don't drink matcha. No, I drink coffee. Pero he told me, let's meet in Molito. We're South Boys eh. No? Molito tayo. Let's discuss your comic. Let's discuss your inspiration over matcha. I feel matcha tastes like grass. No, but I ended up drinking and eating. Pero ang dami ko natutunan. Dami ko natutunan. So, from one guy to another, no, I want to pass sa ibang generation naman. No? So please no, please support. Say hi if you're in Philippine Book Festival. Thank you po, thank you.
Ito, I think this is a very personal comment. Nabully ako noon kasi mahilig ako sa comics. Pero di ako tumigil. Ngayon, cool na tayong mga comics enthusiasts. So true. Yung term nga nila is geek chic. So, in na maging geek eh. To geek out on these things. And don't yak on my yum, basically. Meron din, I think there was somebody who mentioned the Little Ninja. And yeah, I think we're me and I think Doc Tony and some of the other guys who did Combatron would probably also welcome working with the other creators as well. Meron na nga kaming ibang mga naka-line up na ipapasok sa Comics Combat Arena. So hindi pa namin pwedeng pag-usapan pero meron na. Meron na nakakasa. But so if there's an opportunity to work with other creators as well, we're very open. Yun, basta kung madaling kausap, katulad ni Sir Berlin, why not, di ba? So yun, ano pa ba? Meron pa ba tayong kailangan?
Para siyang it's a celebration of Philippine pop culture. Yun talaga yung gusto mangyari eh. When we were talking about it ni Sir Freddy, sabi ko, Sir, panalo kasi parang okay, let's mix the old with the new, no, icons, rising things, no, and then it opens up so much in culture. It opens up so much.
I just realized sorry, we have to do
just to chime in on Neo Divergent. That topic is really special to me because I was actually I was having a project which was the same topic, no. But then this guy, no, ito si Doc, comes to me with a better story, a better better characters, no? So I just had to let go of my story and just sabi ko hindi, add ko na lang yung insights ko with Doc, because I feel like this was better setup because siya mismo, siya doktor yan eh. Alam niya. Eh. And yung wife niya is talagang doon nakafocus. So um I had to give way, no?
They've
Tipong
they've
eto yun,
said
this is the project that's better. And sometimes to the creators, no, as a tip, no, if you see that there's a better project, you have to learn to have to give way and then just support that one, no? And neurodivergent, you guys have to see this, no, it's really different. You have to support it, and it's from Comiket, it's Paulo Heras. You know these two names, no? When they support something, it really is different. It's really good. Written by RH. Si RH, pucha matindi yan. Grabe. And also the art was helped by Rustico Limosinero, which also helped with my comics with Galactic End. So those two with this guy, no, si Doc and Comiket and Paulo Heras, how can you go wrong?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that project.
Yeah.
Ano rin sa akin na cause uh, yung neurodivergent na, I actually trained to teach dyslexic kids. So trained how to teach dyslexic kids because I have it's a very personal issue for me. So somebody close to me uh, is still dyslexic, but kaya naman kaya yang hindi yan uh, totoong disability. It's just a difference in learning styles. And once you realize that, you actually can look at it as a superpower. It's a kind of superpower. Young neurodiverse people. So yeah, it's just that they have a different way of learning, different way of thinking. So yun nga sabi ko, it can be treated like a superpower, superhero sila.
And so, sige, I feel like, I realized we're about an hour in, hindi pa natin na-discuss yung actual comics combat arena. So, we've been talking about it a lot. Tapos, di pa rin sige, I'll do my secretarial duties. Pero, i-connect ko siya sa comment. Kasi ganun, we're always segueing here. So, tinan nyo to. So, kung comment yung RC, Fever Dream daw niya, mga characters basically nag-text together. So, in a way, although hindi sila exactly yung characters, yun yung conceit behind comics combat arena. It's a place na where we can celebrate basically Pinoy comics, and then eventually baka even mga popular culture figures. And so we're starting with Combatron kasi mataas yung mataas yung confidence level natin sa Combatron. Like, we love Combatron, the universe and its characters. So parang we felt that it's the appropriate franchise to launch it on. Pero with this being said, Comics Combat Arena, hindi lang siya nag-hunting ng big names and legendary na mga status na comics. We're actually not afraid to explore. Like, kunwari, you're one of the rising na mga artists with your story and you're really interested in parang, diba, manifesting yung comics nyo in some other way, we might take a look into like what you have to present, and then malay nyo, sumama sila sa universe ng Comics Combat Arena. Kasi nga, it's a celebration of all things. Kasi what you need to know is comics making, like drawing, every step of the way is an act of creation. Game design is also an act of creation. So basically, this is a parang, the Zoom meeting. This is a StreamYard full of creators. So we always love to parang work on things that celebrate working on things, on creating stuff. So partly, Comics Combat Arena is born of that desire. It's larong atin's first attempt at a miniatures game, and one of the parang bigger promises is yeah, we're hoping that this universe will grow beyond what's currently offered. Pero ngayon, let's get excited for Combatron. Kasi Combatron pa lang, it's not just, kasi diba 6 models yung pinag-usapan ngayon? There's more than that. Si Combatron
Yes.
pa lang, ilang armor. Mga ganun, ang dami pwedeng explore. Sige
Yeah,
na,
marami pang
iba-ibang
characters.
wala pa nga yung mga girls, wala pa sila Metallica.
Yes. We're happy to see
shout out dyan si RH. No, RH is here.
Hanapin ko.
Alright.
Ano, Doc, sobrang ganda daw ng details.
Oh, yung details maganda pero ang nagpintura si Sir Freddy. So, marami tayong flexibility in this. No? So, panalo talaga.
Yun din pala. Miniatures games by tradition kasi come unpainted. So, siguro like, as the days come closer, makikita kayo ng mga different, atake, yung approaches
Yes.
to painting it. So, every person, you can express your creativity through painting models. And then, although nag-disappear si Doc Tony,
Yeah.
he actually carries a paint line.
Yeah, I was about to mention nga kasi 'di ba? Actually yung first project niya into this was actually the hobby paints. So I think also sa ABGF there might be a few we might be doing demo painting using Tinta Hobby Paints also at the Combatron booth. So stay tuned for that.
Yes, please paint with me, no? Tinta Hobby Paints is the it's actually my official no? Paint. That's what I use with my paintings sa canvas, and also with my characters na ganito is that's what I use, no? It's It's Pinoy made, no? Si Richard ang gumawa nito. Richard Rivera. Not because it's just Filipino made, but because it really is better than other paints that I've used. So please try it out. When you go to the ABGF, no? We're going to have that painting session, sabi nga ni Sir Freddy, and try out tinta paints.
Sakto pag alis si Doc Tony.
Sorry, naging doktor ako for ilang minuto. Pero
Habang wala ka, puro tinta yung usapan.
We were talking about Tinta Paints.
Ay, thank you. I'll just like to add, no, that I'm a miniature painter kasi talaga, but I learned that it is a high, parang barrier of entry. Kasi once upon a time, when we were younger, medyo mahal yung paint. So, ang hirap na mag-experiment na mahal. So, what we did was, we tried to make sure na yung pigments are the ones that pwede nating ilaban sa internationally made and cheaper and more accessible. Kasi not all people know how to mix. So please try. It's not really expensive at all because what we want to do is foster the community of miniature painting and painting in general. So we're welcoming everyone to try it. In ABGF, mag-enjoy talaga tayo lahat. Kasi ako mismo, I don't feel I'm good yet. And every time I see other people, we learn, no? Iba-ibang painting styles. Sometimes you don't even expect na pwede yun. So, we're looking forward.
Yes. So I think we'll be able, I mentioned a while ago that we can probably do a painting session or tutorials during the event as well. So Asian Board Games Festival, Tinta Paints will be there, kasama sa booth. And then you can try out the paints. I'm not sure if we're gonna have Combatron figures for you to paint. Baka hindi pa siya available by that time. We'll try our best to get hopefully some in. But definitely we'll have them on display as a prototype and for playtest and demo. Yes, it's going. Somebody asked, is it a tactics game? Yes, it's going to be a strategy tabletop miniatures game. So maglalaban sila, and you will use your strategy to, to win the game versus your opponent. So you will play as either the team ni Combatron, Axel, and Ascal, or play as Abaddon, uh, Abaddon, Alcitran, and uh,
Comicos.
Comicus. Yeah, si Comicus yun, pinaka-nakakatawang character actually. Sa
Mahirap i-design.
mechanics-wise, siya yung pinakamahirap i-design. Siya yung pinakamahirap i-design, but we will not spoil it for you. Join us at ABGF and then makikita nyo kung ano yung kalokohan na inisip namin para kay Comicus.
Tsaka there are a lot of ways to play the game, no? For someone who learned Warhammer, I know it took so long, the game is so long. Yung design ng Comics Combat Arena, pwede siyang pang beginner friendly talaga and pwedeng super competitive. So it depends on how you play it. But definitely you'll have a blast. No, you'll have a blast. Kami nga nagtatawanan eh, hindi pa nga namin nilalaro. Pinag-uusapan pa lang namin na tatawa na kami. So it's not just out of yung saya namin. It's actually because it resembles the character so much that for it to be used like that, no, and made a narrative like that, talagang there's some heart that came from it and a lot of laughter.
At
Ito,
saka yung
merong-
pinakagusto ko kasi I've played other, mini board games. Yung nagbabasa ka pa ng instructions every time or nung 'di ba nung page you have to refer to the character. Minsan nagkakaroon kami ng game na I won because I was doing an illegal move. This one, no, it's well thought of na tipong para mawala na yon. No? It's so simple, but then it's intrinsic to the game that you'll see, no, the story is is still there, but it's not that complicated to play, no? Like the other games. No? Like yung Marvel, I tried playing Marvel. Parang binabasa ko, may apat o lima akong binabasa para lang at least tama yung move ko, no? I don't know.
Oh,
So,
ito,
may-
i-highlight to, does it run on campaigns din, Sir Freddy and Dwayne?
And so one of the features ng Comics Combat Arena is meron siyang multiple scenarios. So may mga scenarios na based sa basically sa stories ng focus dun sa mga villains, may mga scenarios din na focus sa heroes. So ano ba, protect or destroy, yung mga ganung type na stuff. So even if you're playing with the same characters, nag-iiba yung missions nyo. So akala nyo, ito, one way to play lang tong character na to. Pero kaso for this specific scenario, baka hindi tayo pwedeng sobrang aggro kasi baka ma-jeopardize yung mga citizens. May mga konting ganung considerations na hindi pwedeng sugod na sugod ngayon. Protect tayo ngayon. So, yeah, the scenarios will basically make up yung flavor for every game that you play. And there are multiple, both separately sa Heroes box at sa Villains box.
yes,
And for those who
there will be stat cards.
They are stat cards and it's art. Maganda siya. So, and the funny thing is parang it's an evolving thing. No? It's an evolving thing and then you can really play it like how the box says or kayo-kayo lang din. No? We want to bring it to the fans. And then other than that, for those who really are not miniature players, the figure in itself is very, very nice. So may nag-comment nga, 'di ba? Ganyan. And then because low complexity for entry, baka mag-start na rin sila. So we're trying to incorporate a lot of people, the ones who like the comics, the character, the franchise, the figures, the painting, and also the board gamers. Parang ang saya, 'di ba? When we're in conventions, parang dito ako, tapos biglang one table, lahat. Diba? Tapos pag-usapan lang natin. And then as what kanina pinag-uusapan natin, we're very, very open na approach us. We may be able to talk about it. Kung sing bait ni Sir Freddy kausap, ang bilis-bilis lang. And then we can play test, no? Let's talk about your lore, let's talk about your rules, and maybe we can put it in because we're really looking into expanding the universe. Ang loko-loko nga namin yesterday is just like an amiibo. No? Amiibo, everyone who doesn't have an avatar of what they love as people end up getting an amiibo or a Funko Pop. In this case, no, you're not just getting your figure, you're actually being able to play with it. And you'll have art with it. And then, yun, no, it's fun, no? Conceptualizing it is fun. But when you hold the manifestation of that dream in your hand, parang iba eh. It hits the feels really, really hard.
Okay. And then bumati si Jack Ruby, another member of Team Combatron.
Yeah, shout out to my ambassador of Kwan, no? My agent, Jack Ruby. Thank you, you're here. At merong nagtanong, no? May nagtanong din na kanino daw inspired si Abyss, no? Astig daw yung character. So, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Flight of Dragons. But
Oh,
when I was a
yes.
kid, yeah, okay. Sir Freddy yung sumagot, pareho kami. But, no, look it up. Look it up, guys. Flight of Dragons is a really nice cartoon. It's from Hanna-Barbera, but then they commissioned Japanese animation on this one, and which means Filipino yung gumawa. Okay. So
Ito yung team
so
song
ano,
nung anime. Ang ganda ng team song nun.
Flight of
Naaalala ko pa rin yung team song.
Dragons. Yeah. So it's Flight of Dragons, and it's inspired by yun na nga, the dragons there, no? Which is awesome and great, and that's where I'm inspired of, no? Why I created the character Abyss. So yun.
May
May
hindi ako masyadong
nagre-request for
maintindihan ng
quiet
question,
host.
Arnold. Will there be a make your own Combatron in the future? I don't know if this refers to the game or refers to probably a create your own character na may incorporate into the Combatron universe in a future comic.
Ang
Maybe.
interpretation ko nga, baka loadout eh.
Baka load out.
Load out sa game.
Pwede, hindi ko rin sure eh. Kasi yun nga, with Combatron, ang dami niya kayang gawin eh. Saka multiple armors,
Yeah.
ganito.
Actually,
Medyo endless
it was a
possibilities.
challenge eh. Kasi talaga sabi, ang daming abilities ni Combatron eh. Ano ba yung highlight natin sa game? Kasi parang pag gano'n, baka yung stats line ni Combatron,
Dalawang cards.
10 pages.
Ito pala, may challenge na isa pa. Since we're talking about Abyss. Tsaka, di ba we talked about yung mga larger base sizes? Ano kaya pag nagka?
Paano kaya kung magkakaroon? Well, that remains to be seen. Hopefully with your support, we will continue making more expansions, and that's definitely a possibility that we can make big figures.
Oh,
And then,
I'm hoping, no, niloloko ko nga sila eh, I want a Bracagon. Kasi parang no one makes the team of death metal. So gusto ko si Bracagon, si Quietus, si Helvetica, 'di ba expansions, 'di ba? So with the support and the clamor of the community, no, and we can bring in more, no, talagang mapapalaki natin to, and it would literally be a larong atin. It would literally mean that, no?
yeah.
So that's what we want. That's what we want every time we go to Comic-Con, to other conventions. Why can other countries do it? Sobrang makulay ng culture natin. We just don't have a clear-cut na attack to it. And I'm hoping this approach, no, will get us united, no, get us interested. Kasi nakikita niyo ang dami ng hobby cafe, 'di ba? And the hobby cafe may pagkain, no? May coffee, may soft drinks, 'di ba? We can bond in that, no? We can geek out, no? So we're seeing this as one of the avenues where we can really introduce everything.
Kung may naglista na.
Wow.
Yeah, yung mga-
Agad.
Nag-umpisa na.
even if some of the abilities you will not see in the first sets, there's definitely room kasi may ibang version naman ng Combatron na pwedeng ilabas yung mga ibang abilities. But we have to limit what we put in the first set. We don't want to
Game
overwhelm
balance.
people din naman.
And balancing. Kasi
Yes.
Hindi
at this
pwedeng
point, there's two pa lang eh. Na the good side and the bad side. So we have to balance it. Baka maging imba sobra and then ma-turn off. We want the fairness and the thinking. Para masaya. Diba? And then later on, the expansions may even be just the character cards, mission cards, art cards, or definitely different sculpts or different characters. Ang daming possibilities. And we're waiting for the community to tell us what our moves will be.
Where
Then
we
we
should
will really listen to it because that's what we want to do. We want to foster community here.
Tsaka ano rin, like, hindi to official or anything. Malay nyo, si Comicus, kung saan mapunta. Diba?
Ay.
Hindi naman kailangan laging... So, yeah. So, it depends dun sa sa characters.
I will support your word on that one. Sige, Tim.
Malay natin. But yeah, so, again, it's the community that will tell us where to go. Kasi larong atin to. So, yeah. Ito,
Maganda yung sinabi ni Alharon Bersamina. Suportahan natin ang mga gawa ng Pinoy. Hindi lang dahil Pinoy din sila, dahil kasi magaganda din talaga ang gawa nila. I also constantly say this, medyo different lang yung pagka-wording ko, but I really believe this eh. You support Filipinos not because kapwa Pilipino mo sila, dahil magagaling din sila. Hindi naman natin sinasabing mas magaling tayo, pero kasing galing tayo ng mga taga-West, taga-Japan. Kasing galing tayo. So, suportahan din natin yung mga gawang Pilipino. Hindi naman dahil sa parang ginigil trip lang namin kayo. At talagang subukan ninyo kung hindi pa kayo talagang you don't talagang mahilig ka sa mga foreign na superheroes, which is not bad. I'm also a fan of foreign superheroes. But I'm also a fan of local comics. You can enjoy both. Walang exclusivity yan. Di ba? So yun, suportahan natin ng natin. So that's very true. I strongly that.
Ito, si Team Cebu, may comment na naman. But yeah, it's similar to that. Yung we can do it by Faces or X. Parang, so for every release, most likely, it's always gonna be a pair. Pero tinan natin, like, again, nothing set in stone. But usually, yung conceit nga is kalaban and then bida. And then we'll work from there.
And then like I said, we're open also to working with other creators. So kung meron kayong ibang gustong makita, let us know. We'll try to work with those other creators. We're very open. We want to support a lot of Filipino creators. We're willing to be with them from the ground up. We're not gonna wait for we'll be part of how their creations paano palakihin yung mga gawa nila. We're not scared of being part of that. Yun.
May nahanapan ako ng na Megadeth. Wait. Meron. I'll do my best.
Hanapin namin sa warehouse. Meron kaming konting warehouse mishap with that. Nahanap namin yung kahon. Hindi namin mahanap yung baraha.
Pero ang dami talaga naghahanap ng posters. Kaya
Yeah.
sobrang good idea yan. Yung rulebook posters.
I'm really enjoying na the communities engage with this. No, it gives very good outlook and also the interest. So I'm very sure, if you want to see what's happening, you want to see the possibilities in the near future, let's go, Ano tayo, Bayanihan, ABGF. Masaya talaga, masaya. The creators are there, the fans are there, the creator mismo is there. 'Di ba? So, sama-sama tayo. Masaya yan.
Yeah, let's play, no? Let's play the game because I want to know if I can win against you guys. No? So, baka mamaya may special prize pag ako ang natalo nyo.
Baka
Let's
mamaya.
see.
Pwedeng-pwede galing sa Tido Dojo.
Wait, ako ba dapat magte-take ng notes? But yan, so exciting din talaga. So dates to watch out for again is syempre ABGF. Pero leading to May 2 and 3, maraming mga teasers and posters and mga announcements, not just for Combatron Comics Arena, pero for all the Combatron related projects and yung mga adjacent projects such as yung Neodivergent and then of course yung mga iba pang releases sa ABGF. So stay tuned lang, follow our pages, 4 na, di ba? So Larong Atin, Tito Dojo, yung Combatron the group, and then also Time Purse para dun sa watch. Announcement siguro nung winner, maybe around tomorrow siguro, we'll post it on our respective pages na lang. I-raffle lang. Again, 1 entry lang kahit sobrang dami niyang chinat. Sorry. Okay lang,
Aren't we
mamanualing
going to
ko
do
yan.
it right here?
Wait lang. I need to
Just
list
one?
it down.
Mahirap yung kasi ano tayo. Medyo marami tayong iba-backtrack.
Kasi
marami na nga, no? Maraming naka-tune in.
Yeah, and siya, it's actually simulcasted on 3 platforms. So, 2 Facebook and then 1 YouTube. So, iba-iba to. And then, mamayang gabi, ako bahala.
But definitely, guys, it will be a blast, no? Larong Atin not just features Combatron, marami pang ibang games, no?
Yeah.
But definitely come and drop by. And then pag-uusapan, may minutes of meeting pala. Siyempre, babantayan kung makuha talaga nila yung freebie. Oo, magpapa-freebie kami. Kasi birthday namin ni Sir Berlin. Added pa, kung matalo nyo siya, sige. Ako nang magsasabi, matalo nyo siya, may ibibigay talaga. No, it is for the hobby, it's for Combatron, it's for miniatures, it's for everything in general. No, so please, no, punta kayo, masaya yan, masaya.
Yan. So,
Yun. I guess we're overtime na. Our usual time is nag-overtime
1
na
hour and
tayo.
20 minutes.
Medyo napapasarap yung kwentuhan and yung and people are still engaging. But I think we probably have to say all our final messages. We can ask them to follow our pages and whatever. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. No, shout out to my manager, my agent of Quan, Jack Ruby. Shout out to Jack. This who's like you know what you're doing. Combat Tropas, go. Shout out to Charles Youngblood. Parang yung pangalan mo parang pang D&D. That's something. And then thank you Dwayne, thank you Sir Freddy, Sir Doc Tony. Thank you for this opportunity that you have collaborated with me. Thank you for the things that we're going to do this May. And I invite everyone to be there with me, no? Kwentuhan tayo. Kwentuhan, let's have fun. Let's go.
So, for me naman, thank you everyone for actually, first of all, kay Sir Berlin for giving this old child his dream come true. And also guiding me in yung mga sa ginagawa natin ngayon. No? It's not just really about comics. Sa totoo lang, pag I feel something, I'm getting inspired. Si Sir Berlin ang isa sa mga una kong pinagkukwentuhan. No? This guy is a result of this guy. So it's all inspiration, it's all passing the legacy in different forms. No? And for this one, shout out kay RH, he's there. Thank you for giving a voice to our characters. No, it is becoming more colorful because of the team. No, shout out din ako kay Richard. He was there a while ago. Baka tulog na kasi matanda na siya. He's our partner in painting and he's Mr. Tinta talaga. No, galing sa laway niya, yung secret ingredient ng talagang pintura natin. Galing. And syempre, ngayon ko palang masasabi. Actually, hindi ko alam paano sabihin yung name niya eh. Si Collector Xylin. Other than yung drawing ni Sir Berlin, yung drawing niya, yung hinihingi ko talaga. Actually, binibili ko. And ang ganda talaga. Maganda talaga. To the point na kinailangan kong ipa-ship sa akin. So, there are so much great artists. I actually messaged the artist. Sabi ko, pwede bang gumawa ka ng ganito? Or sabihin ko, nag-iipon na ako ng source material for the arts for Combatron. Kasi gusto ko talagang magkaroon ng tribute. No, he's one of them. No, nilapitan ko na siya. So wala ka nang magagawa. So gising pa si Richard. Good evening, Richard. No, after nito pwede ka na matulog. Thank you, Sir Freddy and Dwayne and Tomas. No, for making me a part of this big dream and this ambitious project that I don't think it's very ambitious because I know it's there. No, kayang-kaya natin to, and who knows, no, this might be a great big universe. Okay, so thank you everyone. See you very soon in ABGF.
Okay. Once again, thank you very much to everybody who joined us tonight. To our usual followers, to the followers of Berlin, Combatron, sa mga fans din nito, Tony. So, thank you everyone for joining us, engaging with us. Maraming salamat to our special guest tonight. Again, two of my most favorite people to work with. Tapos, pati si Anthony nandito na rin, matutulog, pinapatulog na si
So,
Richard.
human printer namin si Anthony. So, shout out din.
Oh.
Patulogin na si Richard.
Okay. So once again, thank you, and watch out ABGF May 2 to 3, Bayanihan Center. Marami kayong makikitang Combatron plus a lot more. Stay tuned to our socials. Larong Atin on Facebook, Tido Dojo on Facebook, Combatron by Berlin Manalaysay on Facebook as well. Ano ba? May nakalimutan
Timers.
ba ako?
Timers. Watch
Time
mode.
First. Time First. Sponsor ng ano
Time
natin.
First.
Ng prize
Raffle.
natin yun. Abangan nyo rin yung announcement ng winners. And then, that's it. Good night. How about Dwayne? You wanna close this
Wait.
off?
And
Sige.
one
Trabaho
more,
ko to.
one more.
Oh,
To
go.
God be the glory. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, so one last announcement. This will be the final episode of the Larong Atin podcast. Ano? Kasi starting next week, we're gonna be wala akong graphics. Hindi ako prepared. The ABGF podcast. So starting next week, we're gonna focus fully on ABGF. And by then, kita-kita na lang. And then thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. All the fans and basically all the gamers, all the comiceros, all the comics fans. And hanggang sa susunod, this is the Larong Atin podcast. And we are signing off. Bye-bye!